accidentally got some Sheglam stuff because this was sitting in my Amazon cart, and then my husband ordered something off of Amazon without taking this out, but I'm not mad about it. So I got the Sheglam Good Grip Hydrating Primer and the Good Grip Hydrating Prime and Set Spray. So I'm gonna try these out today. And also, my last video I did my full like Ulta haul, but I had gotten 2 eyeshadow palettes, but I only used one of them, obviously. So I'm gonna use my other Natasha Denona palette that I got today. So let's get into the makeup. We are first starting with the Sheglam Gripping Primer, and so far I'm really liking this primer. I like the texture of it. It's very, very, very tacky, and I really like the packaging as well. Looks pretty cute for how affordable the product is. So I'm going to get that all rubbed in with a brush. I just put that literally everywhere, and then I'm going to go on top of that with the Sheglam Prime Set Spray. Now, when I pull this out, you're going to see like I just look so confused. I thought I had accidentally bought a mini version of the gripping primer because this setting spray is not liquidy at all. It literally looks like a little gel, and I'm trying to like show on the camera, like even when I move the bottle, it barely moves. It's like a gel, but then it's sprayed out. It's sprayed out kind of like a spray. It was very, very blotchy, like lots of droplets. I don't think I'll ever use this as a setting spray, but as a primer spray, it's fine because you're just gonna like spread stuff out over top of it. And it definitely does add to like the moisture and the stickiness. So now we're moving on to foundation. I am still trying to figure out this Urban Decay foundation. I think that I don't really like it. I'm mixing it with the Urban Decay Luminizer that also just came out. And I'm so confused because the first time that I used this foundation, I really, really liked it. I thought it looked beautiful. All my products that I really like blended beautifully on top of it. But then every single time I've tried to use it afterwards, it looks horrible. It looks patchy. It looks dry. It is hard to blend. It has flashback, and it has these like little specks of pigment that just do not blend in. So you just look like you have specks of unblended foundation all over your face, and they're dry. So even though, yeah, it's just like not looking good for this foundation. And I tried to go on top with that Sheglam spray to add some more moisture, but it was too blotchy. So then I ended up also going in with my Morphe spray, and it still just looked dry. I'm thinking that this just probably isn't the foundation for me. I'm just going to have to go exchange it for some other stuff to try out. And the luminizer was also same, like similar formula, just too dry. And then also the other problem that I've been having was after the fact, like I'm using this ColourPop bronzing stick now, which I just got, but I've been loving it. And the first time that I used it with this foundation, it looked gorgeous and it blended beautifully. And I've tried this bronzer stick and the blush stick with other foundations, and it blends gorgeous. It blends beautifully. But now when I'm retrying this foundation and the foundation already looks horrible, then I put this amazing bronzer stick and blush stick on top, and it's like getting even patchier, and it's just looking horrible. I was not happy at all. And you guys know, look how much of the Sigma color corrector I've used up. Like I'm like scraping the edges of both pans, and even this looked bad on top of the foundation. Like this never looks bad. So yeah, I'm just not into this Urban Decay foundation. My first impression was really good, but every single time after that, it has been the worst, most hard to use foundation ever. So I'm not really into it. Now we are going to go in on the eyes. I'm just going to use this all matte mini Natasha Denona palette and basically go down the gradient and give myself a nice like medium to deep brown smoky eye with a black smoky liner. I am in love with this palette. How many times I think like Natasha Denona has to be my favorite high-end brand at this point, because every single time I buy a product from her, I am not disappointed. It always comes through. Because you guys know, sometimes like the all matte palettes, yeah, they look good in the crease, but then you try to have like an all matte look and you're putting an all matte eyeshadow on your lid, and it does not go well. But oh my goodness, this Natasha Denona formula is so stunning. It's so blendable. It's pigmented in all the right ways. Like it's just Natasha Denona has the perfect balance of like high pigmentation and blendability, because sometimes you get these
these products that are like super, super pigmented, and you lay them down and then you can't really blend them out. So you're just stuck with like a big blotch of highly pigmented eyeshadow, and it doesn't really look right because it's not blendable. And then, of course, you have the other eyeshadows that look great blended in the crease, but then you try to pack them on and they don't really pack that punch. Natasha Denona has the perfect, like, happy medium between those two things. They're pigmented, they're blendable, they're creamy, they're gorgeous, they last throughout the day. I am obsessed. I am obsessed with her. So I'm just going to finish smoking out the upper lash line with that black eyeshadow, and then we're going to scooch on back to the face. I'm going to use the About Face loose powder. This is in the shade Bow. It's the lightest shade. This is relatively new to the About Face line. I think it's been out for a month or two. I am in love with it. And I had a feeling that it was actually going to be good because for the first little while when it first came out, I would go like every single week to my Ulta to check if it was there, and it was always sold out. So I finally got my hands on it, and I can see why it is always sold out because it is darn good. It's so beautiful, lasts forever, and a little bit goes a long way, which I really, really like. I'm just going to pack a little bit onto the powder puff and then set the under eye. Love it. I'm going to use the Jaclyn Hill bronzer and blush duo that I have to set my bronzer and blush, but just use whatever you have. I know this is discontinued, but it's just like a good shade of bronzer and a matching kind of cooler toned medium pink to match the blush stick that I use from ColourPop. So use whatever you have. I'm also just going to use some of the ColourPop. I always want to say Fourth Ray Beauty, but it's literally ColourPop. The ColourPop face powder just around the mouth because I don't like to have any type of shine around there. That's just a personal preference. This foundation is self-setting and it's pretty dry, like I said. So I feel like you really do not even have to set it, especially if you have just normal skin, but you like a slightly more matte finish. If this foundation works for you, then you probably don't even have to set it. Then, of course, I'm sorry, guys, I'm obsessed. Every single time I use a pink or berry toned blush, I use this new NYX Butter Highlight on top, the pink one. I use it as a cheek topper, like a blush topper. It just gives you supermodel skin. I'm obsessed with it. I can't put it down. But it's beautiful. It's totally worth it. Now I'm going to finish off the lower lash line. You do not want to neglect your lower lash line with the eyeshadow looks because otherwise it looks really unfinished and your eyes can look kind of tired and small. So definitely match up your lower lash line with the top. I'm just using that medium middle shade and a little bit of the slightly darker brown to smoke that out. And then I'm going to line my upper and lower waterline with the matte brown eyeshadow stick from e.l.f. I really, really like how this eye look turned out. I just feel like it looks so perfectly like sultry and just gorgeous. I'm like totally obsessed. So I lined that. I'm going to do my eyebrows, do some mascara, and I also added just one of the Kiss pre-glued lash clusters. You can add as many as you want, obviously, if you want like the full row, but I just felt like I just needed one today right on the end of my lashes just to add that little bit of extra oomph, that little bit of extra sultriness, and I feel like it was the perfect touch. I'm still obsessed with these Kiss pre-glued lash clusters. They're so easy. They look so beautiful. They last forever. They are super reusable. I reuse them a ton of times. They are freaking incredible. I will probably never go back to a normal strip lash. Once those lashes are on, I kind of was looking back at myself, and sometimes when I do a little bit of a smoky eye and I don't highlight that inner corner, I can look a little bit too tired and my eyes kind of look close together. So I went back with that matte cream color from the Natasha Denona eyeshadow palette and I just brightened up that inner corner just to make sure I still look bright and awake, and I don't look too bogged down or too like my eyes are too small or anything like that. Then I'm going to line the lips. This is just an e.l.f. $2 lip liner in a nice neutral shade for me, like a neutral nudish shade. And then I'm using one of their Glow Reviver lip oils in the shade Candy Coated, which is just like the white pearly one, to top that off. And yeah, this time I did try to do my hair, keyword try. I feel like it looks horrible. And I did also use that Urban Decay luminizer to shine up the chest. very dry formula, but it does look pretty on camera. And that is the final look. So I hope you guys like this video, and I will see you guys in another video very soon. Bye.